GTM Podcast Buddhist Knowledge 38 Blessing of Life Blessing 11 Part 4. Hello everyone. You are listening to GTM Podcast. We hope you enjoy learning in our Buddhist knowledge so far. On this Blessing 11, we have covered from the introduction and the importance of the debt of gratitude we owe to our parents so far. On this episode, we will cover repaying the debt of gratitude to our parents. If you have not listened to the previous episode just yet, we suggest you go back and listen for more and truly understanding on this subject. Now let us begin. Repaying the debt of gratitude to our parents. Expectations of parents. Poor parents would rather put themselves in debt than to see their own children suffer. Considering seemingly little things like carefully and rationally will allow us to see through to the magnitude of the debt of gratitude we owe our parents. Realizing how good one's parents are is a simple but necessary precursor to the repayment of gratitude to our parents, because it is not immediately obvious or easy to understand for every person. There was once a man who, together with his brothers and sisters, had been looking after their mother throughout a constant period of 2 years, nursing her and paying for her kidney transfusions at a cost of 20,000 baht per month. That would be about $500 or $600. Such a cost was certainly difficult for all the brothers and sisters to bear. But if they could not pay them, surely their mother would die. Because the mother was also suffering from mental disease. As soon as she was stronger after the transfusion, she would complain continuously, disturbing the sons and daughters, looking after her in the middle of the night. Looking after the mother was an ordeal for everyone concerned, and at the end of 2 years, the thought occurred to all the brothers and sisters that 2 years was enough. They thought that all their effort were surely enough to repay their debt of gratitude to their mother. In fact, if their mother had thought the same thing of her 6 sons and daughters early on in life, then surely none of them would have survived to the present day. Their mother would have used the last of her earnings to see her children well again, and even have gone into debt rather than seeing her children suffer. All parents have only 5 expectations of their children, in keeping with the 5 recollections of Singalovada Sutta mentioned in the previous episode, all of which points to ways in which children can handle the debt of gratitude they owe to their parents. 1. That their children will look after them in their own age. 2. That their children will perpetuate the good work for society they have already started. 3. That their children will carry on the good name of the family. 4. That their children will use the family wealth in a responsible way. 5. When they pass away, their children will perform funeral rites and continue to dedicate the positive of good deeds or merits to their parents. The extent to which a child manages to do all 5 of these things vary from person to person. But in general, you can categorize children into 3 types. 1. The child whose virtues exceeds that of his parents and who brings more prosperity to the family, as during the time of his parents. 2. The child whose virtue equals of his parents and who brings the same degree of prosperity to the family as was brought during the time of his parents. 3. The child whose virtue is less than that of his parents and who brings less prosperity to the family during the time of his parents. Service. Repaying to our parents' goodness through service is divided into two parts. 1. Service when they are still alive. When they are still alive, help them in their daily chore. Look after them when they are old. Make sure that they are well fed and care for them when they are not well. If they still have debts when they are in their own age, then try to pay these debts off before they die. Serve them by making life more convenient, like building an extra toilet for aged parents. 2. Service after their death. When they pass away, host their funeral and habitually offer the positivity you generate as the result of your meditation for their benefit. Even if we transfer merit to them and they are unable to accept it, we have still done our duty to the best of our ability, like giving a car to someone who cannot use it or cannot use it immediately. Honor. In order to show our parents for the pure intention which our parents have always shown us, it is fitting to offer clothing, housing, or medicine. Sometimes we might give a gift to our parents, not out of necessity, but in order to honor our parents. Sometimes out of their goodwill for us. Aged parents or old people will seem to be very fussy or critical because they have a lot of life experience more than us. Sometimes they are really too fussy, but you need to be able to tolerate what they are saying and think that they still have a goodwill for you. If we are patient, we can learn a lot from their experiences. Also, there may be some things we should keep to ourselves instead of burdening our parents. Old people are weak and cannot do much for themselves. Only their mouth is in good working order. So be patient when old people talk a lot. Protection. Protect your parents from things that you know annoying them or tire them. If you can alleviate stressful duties which might fall upon your parents, you can help them to enjoy the last year of their life more and preserve their dignity. Spiritual ways of repayment. In all the ways above, we have no way of repaying the debt of gratitude. In fact, the way which is possible to repay our debt is through internal support by giving them heaven as their afterlife destination. 1. Inspiring them to faith in the triple gem and nurture them further too. 2. Be generous and keep a baseline of morality. 3. Persuade them to listen to spiritual teachings. Some old parents are unable to go to a place where they can hear spiritual teachings for themselves, but you can help the situation by reading them spiritual books, by giving them a video for them to watch or listen. 4. Teaching them how to meditate. 5. Ordaining to pay the debt of gratitude. This is in Buddhist culture, especially in Thai culture. There is a tradition for sons to ordain temporarily at the age of 20 in order that the parents may gain merit from organizing their ordination. It is said that The sponsor of an ordination ceremony will gain half of the merits of ordinand himself. Therefore, as a dutiful son, finding the opportunity to ordain in order to repay one's debt of gratitude to one's parents is an important part of cultivating the 11 blessings. When parents have already passed away, even if your parents have already passed away, your duty as a grateful son or daughter is not finished. Apart from taking responsibility for organizing a fitting funeral, Buddhist sons and daughters will do meritorious deeds regularly and transfer the merit from the deeds for the benefit of their deceased parents. Announcing the goodness of our parents. Some people mistakenly think that a large family is interchangeable with a family of good repute. Thus, they have many children, thinking that in this way they will bring happiness to their own parents. However, whether one has an heir or not is not something that will make your parents or anyone else in the world laugh or cry. What is better? To have 100 sons and daughters who do nothing to better the family reputation, or to work yourself bringing fame and fortune to the family yourself by the good and beneficial things you do for the rest of society. A person who is so good that their love is not limited to just a few sons and daughters, but to the whole of the world. Whether you have an heir or will not, make the earth will not laugh or cry. Thus, if you want to announce the whole world the goodness of your parents, you don't need to shout about it. The goodness of your parents will shine through your own behavior, manners, the way you speak without you even having to mention your parents. We represent our parents and the way they have brought us up. We are their flesh and blood. Our mannerisms also come from our upbringing. That is why our behavior is the most vivid way of announcing their goodness. It is not in their biography that we hand out at their funeral, but rather by our own behavior which matters. Everyone loves their parents. Having these loved ones should announce their goodness through our good behavior, starting while they are still alive. In doing so, we will make them very happy. This is more important than writing their goodness in their biography, which is of minute importance. It doesn't matter whether we intentionally want to announce our parents' goodness through our behavior or not. Our actions speak for themselves. It is up to us to create a good name for them through our behavior. In doing so, we make ourselves worthy to receive our parents' legacy. Reciprocal relationship between parent and child. From Singalovada Sutta, we learn that a child has duties toward his parents, and parents have duties toward their children. This will be discussed in Blessing 12. In the ideal world, both the parents and the children will fulfill their side of bargain, and doing so, no danger will grow up in relationship or for society at large. There will be happiness and prosperity both for parent, child, and society at large. If the child fulfills their duty according to Blessing 11, but the parents doesn't fulfill their duty according to blessing 12, harm will come to the parents and eventually to the child and society as well. There are some exceptional cases where a child has been so mistreated at the hand of his own parents that he or she finds it near impossible to imagine any good thing about their parents. In such a case, we must remind ourselves that even if our parents abandon us at birth, we still have a huge debt of gratitude to them for giving us our physical form as a human. In a case where one has been beaten or abused by one's parents, it is important to make a separation between the good things they have done to you and the bad. We must repay our debt of gratitude for the good things and do our best to forgive the bad things, without mixing them up or thinking that one cancels out the other. Sometimes, a dutiful son or daughter knows that giving their parents money will only fuel them into doing irresponsible things like gambling. In such cases, they should still be supported, but the support should be in form of food or clothing that they cannot change into money. Such parents should be treated like a patient who is ill and sometimes cannot be given what they crave for. But our parents should never be insulted by us because of their weaknesses. If the parents fulfill their duty according to blessing 12, but the child does not fulfill their duty according to blessing 11, harm will become to the child and eventually to the parents and society as well. If the child doesn't do their duty according to blessing 11, and the parents don't fulfill their duty according to blessing 12, immediate harm will come to both and to society too. And thus everyone, these are in the detail of how one can repay the debt of gratitude. So we hope you can understand and see the importance that one should also practice in daily life. And this will also improve the quality of our mind for the better meditation experience. In the last part, which we will discuss next episode, is illustrative example that explain and give us the general idea about supporting your parents. If you like the program and find a benefit from learning in this, don't forget to subscribe, like and share to your loved ones so they can also learn and know the important thing in life as well. We hope to see you again in our next episode. Until then, next time.